Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please, we just wait 2 more minutes. I can see other people are joining and seems like others are struggling to join also. So let's just give 2 more minutes. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, good morning, and welcome everyone. Before I say a single word about software, I want you to picture a Monday morning inside your NGO. It is 8 a.m. The program officer is trying to pull last month numbers together for a donor record that's due on Friday. Finance is digging deep into spreadsheets, reconciling a grant line by line, and the HR is chasing attendance sheet from 3 different fields. Someone is digging through emails to find approval for a project expenses, and the executive director has just been asked by a founder a simple question: how is the program doing? That's a big question that normally funders ask, and you can't answer quickly because the answer is scattered across dozens of places. Everyone is working hard, everyone is working for the mission, but so much of the day goes not to the mission, but to wrestling with tools that were never built to work with each other. So let me ask you, how much of your organization time and your funding is lost not to your organization, but to admin, duplications, and disconnected systems? If this Monday morning felt familiar, then you are exactly the organization we built this platform for. My name is Bello Kankia, and I am the CEO of Raza Technology. For more than 10 years, I have worked closely with organizations of every kind, and the NGOs hold a special place in that story. I have also worked within the UN system for over 8 years. For those of you that are joining from Maiduguri, you might be familiar with me. I have worked with OCHA for over 8 years. So I fully understand the world you operate in, the donors, the reporting system, the compliance, and the accountability from inside, not from someone telling me what is going on. And I know this, your work matters and your margins are thin. Every naira you save on overhead is an naira that reaches people you serve. Raza Technology has been building technology solutions since 2014. Our mission is simple to say and hard to do: help organizations run better through softwares. And we have listened, really listened, to program teams, finance officers, and directors describe exactly what I showed you. And in all the conversations, the same story kept coming back, especially from NGOs like yours. Not one big dramatic failure, but 1,000 small ones, a dozens of subscriptions your budget can't even really justify, data entered in one report, then again for a funder, then again for the auditor. So data being entered multiple times and extracted from multiple reports, right? Spending that number of time, spending that one can show quickly, and going through grant by grant when a donor asks, attendance, payroll, the field office, it's scattered around. So we use so many tools, so many WhatsApp messages, so many platforms for conversation. And then a donor asks for accountability, or an auditor arrives, and you spend days assembling what should take just minutes. The cost isn't only about money and time, it's trust. For most organizations, this costs them their trust, right? And whenever donors and funders and other growing organizations cannot show clearly and quickly where every naira is spent and where it went and what was achieved, that is a big red flag. And here is the hard truth many of you know. One of the biggest reasons NGOs miss out on funding has nothing to do with, let's say, their work, is that they fail due diligence. Due diligence, which is very important for any funder. A funder asks for a clean financial record, clear governance, an audit trail, proof of how the last grant was spent, and it takes weeks to assemble. It simply isn't there because it's scattered across all places in the organization. Good organization doing real good job loses grants they deserve simply because their record weren't ready when the funder asks for it. So we kept asking a simple question: why should a mission-driven organization spend so much of its time and funding just holding its tools together? Why should transparency be this hard? It shouldn't be. Why NGO don't need more softwares, more tools. You need one place, one source of truth that keeps your whole organization and every grant clear in clicks, in single views. This is why we built NGOffice360. And NGOffice360 is one intelligent cloud platform that brings your entire organization together: HR, payroll, attendance, leave program, and project. Takes approval, procurement, finances, communication, and reporting under a single login with a single source of truth. For an NGO, that means every program, every grant, every expenses, and every field team is all connected in one view. Ready for your board, ready for auditors, and ready for the donors whenever they ask for it. Not 12 vendors, not 12 bills, and also not 12 softwares bringing in report from here and there. This is exactly how you stop failing due diligence and start winning funding. When every expenses ties to a grant, every approval is logged, and a clear financial report is one click away. You don't scramble when a funder runs their check. You already are ready. NGOffice360 keeps you audited ready and due diligence ready every single day. So your records never stands below. Your records never stands between you and the grant, and your record doesn't affect whatever you're applying for because you have a clean record. Intelligence alone, integration alone is not the future. Intelligence is. And that is The reason we did not go along, we partnered with the best in the field. The intelligence inside NGOffice 360 comes from our AI partner, Ether Intelligence, and AI research and applied firm, where this entire focus system has AI-driven automation and intelligence system integrated. For an organization like yours, the same class of intelligence can read a 50-page field report and summarize it in seconds and draft a clean donor update straight from your live data in the system. This is what now works in NGOffice 360. So now I can stand and keep mentioning so many features in this system, but that is not how you will feel what we can do with the organization, with your organization using this system. So let's show you how you can run your organization and demo to you how NGOffice 360 feels like, and watch how your work, the reporting, simply flow from one person to another. So let's get started with the short demo. Rather than tell you about NGOffice 360, so let's show you the software itself, model by model, starting from the very first step, setting up your organization. Follow along. This is exactly what your own team will do. So getting started with the registration at NGOffice360.com, I will share a referral link that you can use and also get access to months of free trial. We will share it in the chat. So the registration starts here. You register your organization using your official email. Your official email can be a Gmail, but we advise not a single personal or worker's email, because everyone will be onboarded into the same system. So you need your organizational email, whether it's a Gmail or Hotmail or any kind of mail, but it shouldn't belong to a single person. You add your organization name, you add the logo, the details, and you add everything. So this very first account that creates the organization becomes the admin. So the person who sets everything up in under a minute, your organization has its own secure home page that you can simply type and go to the subdomain of your organization. So we are just demonstrating to you how simple it is to have your organization on board with NGOffice 360. So once all the details are filled and you click send, you will get an email to authenticate that registration. Once you check your email, you will receive the authentication email. Then you go straight to login in with the new organization you just registered. So this is how simple it is to have your organization on the platform. You go ahead and log in as the admin of the organization. So we'll go ahead and log in with existing account that already have some data for demonstration. So once you register the account, you will get the email. So you just follow the email, you log in, and you will have your dashboard. So this is the administrative account. And this administrative accounts goes ahead to onboard the rest of the team. So what he does is he invites the team members. You can add people one by one, or you can send many invitations. Each person gets an invitation. They set their own password, and each person have his role, his own permission. So what does this mean? This means what a HR is seeing is not what the financial officer is seeing, because the financial officer doesn't have access to the HR unless you want them to have. That can be modified in configuration. What a normal staff is seeing is not what the HR and the finance officers are seeing. So it's a role-based and permission-based system, but collaborating in a single workspace. So whether you have an organization with 3 people, whether you have an organization with 5 people, 50 people, more than that, this system can be able to manage your staff, your project, your finances, and your record. So we'll go ahead and, after showing this invitation, and show you how other staff are able to work with this system. So this is the administrative panel where all invitations are made. And once you have some of your staff, like the HR, we can have a look of the HR view, what the HR is able to do. And so as the HR, you have the permission to see everything in HR. In finance, you only have the ability to request for approval, but not see the finances of the office. Since you are the HR, you can only see those approval that you have sent. So these are your own personal expenses or your departmental expenses, but not the overall expenses of the office itself. But as HR, you have all rights that a HR is supposed to have. So you make all HR decisions, you have the organizational structure, you have the employees, you onboard all your employees. You can, when a need arises, you can move a staff from one department to the other, and this staff will move with different permission. You can decide to adjust their permission, what they can do and what they cannot do within the system. So we take confidentiality and security paramount. We do understand that in a structural organization, not everybody should have access to everything. So there is restrictions on what someone can do, what someone can see, and what someone can be able to adjust in the overall system. So workflow, we already consider workflow in our system. So what does this mean? This means you all have a workflow in your organization, and every organization works different from other organizations. I can give you a use case of what happens in the UN system, especially in OCHA. When I'm requesting for a leave as a staff, I will first have to check with the HR what is my leave balance. Then when they give me my leave balance, I will talk to my supervisor, apply for the leave, then it goes to the HR, then back to my supervisor, then it also moves back to my second reporting officer, which mostly is my own supervisor's supervisor, before it goes to the head of department, head of office, right? So, but in small organizations, like our own organization here, if someone is going for leave, he only speaks with his line manager. And once that is being approved by the line manager, then it moves to the CEO. So from the staff to the line manager to the CEO. This goes the same for financial approval, from the staff to the accountant to the CEO. And in some other small organizations, the financial approval only comes from the manager straight to the CEO. So that is why we integrated workflow, because we understand all organizations have different ways they do their work and different reporting mechanisms. So this is easy to move around. This is easy to set up. So moving back to some of the features in the HR, we don't want to take so much time demonstrating each and every feature, but we can just take some features that we feel are paramount, and they are also essential for organizations like yours. We have the attendance, we have the record, and one of the key features in this system, your attendance is automated. You don't need the thumbprint machine. So once you come to the platform, go to your dashboard or go to attendance, you simply clock in. So you can clock in from your dashboard, and you can also clock in from the HR, your HR attendance as a staff. So this is how clocks in happen. You clock in, it takes the location and the coordinate of the office, and it tells you whether you are clocking in from the office or you are clocking in from outside the office. So the admin sets the premises of the office, the HR personnel, set, okay, this is our office location. And whatever attendance we are taking is going to be, let's say, 500 meters along that office. So if you are away from that 500 meters, then it's not going to show that you are in office. You are definitely out of office. So this is how you set it up. This is how you do the settings, how you take the coordinate, and it's easy, it's straightforward. It can be done by the HR personnel. So I think we can move to leave management briefly. So leave management, this is also where you request for your leave, select for the leave, and it goes to who it's supposed to go to, whether you're a line manager, whether in the configuration, the leave is going straight to the head of office also. So this is how you select your leave, type of leave, and so on, and you send it for request. So due to time constraints, you can set up more leave, and you can have so many types of leave in the system. And there's a lot you can do in the leave, set up the days and so on. So I wouldn't want to take so much of your time going through the leave. Since you will have access to this system, you can easily see how this is being done. These are the type of leave that we already set in this demo system we are using. So we'll quickly jump into finance. So in finance, you can create your budget here, and this is what most organizations don't do. And this questions comes a lot in due diligence. What is your financial budget for the year? What are the programs you want to do? What are your expenses? What are your overhead costs? What are your operational expenses? And also some of the programs you are doing. So you can create a budget here, and each department will put their own budget for operational expenses, and you can have other expenses. So your budget here will be moving along line with your spendings, with whatever inflow is coming into your organizations. So this is sending a budget line. You send a budget line to the HR and administration. So you have a ceiling of, let's say, about 100 million. So once they are creating their budget, they know the ceiling for their department is this amount, and they can create their budget line by line from operational expense to other capital expenses and so on within that department. So just quickly showing you how it looks like. And this is from the other side, from HR and finance. This is from HR and finance. So what you do now is you have already seen what is coming in, and you can go ahead and create the budget line and so on. So we have also office requests. So once you create your budget line, you go ahead with your office request. For instance, if a staff is requesting for anything, if a manager is requesting for anything, if a staff is requesting for his travel expense, if even let's say the admin is trying to request for a new chair in the office, they can simply come and create request. What kind of expense is this? And this will go to the approval level. So these approval levels are based on your own configuration, what goes to who, and what goes up, and who is the final person to make the approval for this request. You put the description, you put what this is for, and you create the expense. Once this is being created, maybe you want to add an attachment to it, you got an invoice from a vendor, so you can simply go ahead and just make the attachment and you make submission. This goes straight to maybe your line manager if you are sending this as a staff. If you are sending this as a manager, it goes maybe to the head of accounts or to the CEO for final approval. So the manager's dashboard, and each of the manager in your organization will have his own custom dashboard depending on his role, depending on his permission. So what he is able to see, and the statistics of what is going on in the operation. If it has to do with HR and admin, you have HR and admin dashboard showing you statistics of the attendance, the members, pending requests that has to do with HR and admin. If you are a financial officer, you see finances, and if you are the overall executive director, you see everything from the attendance to the finances to the HR and projects and all. So as mentioned, this is permission-based, and this is heavily role-based. So it depends on the role and permission you have. So this is a view of the overall manager or executive director, and this is what they see, which is different from what the HR see, and which is different from what the financial officer, different from what the program manager sees. All depends on your role and permission. So we'll quickly go through, let's say, the project management model. So this is one of the model where the AI shines. You can build a program by hand, just by selecting a program, an award letter, or any document that has to do with that program. The reason intelligence is the now and also the future. Most of these things, you don't have to start planning each and everything in your own program or project like you used to. AI can help you plan. AI can help you set the ball running. And that is exactly what we do. So by just dragging your project letter, your award letter, the AI processes everything. It understands the figures that are in that project. It understands the project name. It understands who the client is, and the award letter. Then it breaks it down for you in phases. It breaks it down for you in activities, and it also breaks it down for you in tasks. So it gives you suggestion of everything. So all you have to do is edit it and move. So if there's no editing, you just set, okay, when is the start date and when is the finish date of this project? It creates everything you need for this project, including the project charter. This simplifies a lot of work, and one of the most important things, apart from the phases, the activities, and the tasks, it gives you a lot of suggestion on documents it can help you create based on that project. We understand documentation. We understand the need to be diligent in all the work we are doing. And this is what gives the donors, the funders, confident of what we are providing to them as an organization, what you are trying to do, and the hard work you are doing is all being documented. The project life cycle, a project manager starts a project, it has its life cycle, and the CEO or the executive director of that organization goes ahead and initiate the project. On project initiation, the project starts, and the only thing you need to do is invite your own staff to that project, assign tasks and responsibility to each of them, and also adjust the plan if needed. So we go ahead and initiate the project because everything is already done. After initiation, you invite members to the project. You give them their role, what they can do within the project. Can they see the finances? Yes, no. Can they also be able to invite other members to the project? These are your staff members, and these are people you are working on with in this same project, and these are the permissions and rights you can also give them within a particular project, what they can do and they cannot do in projects. One of the most important items is the Gantt chart of the project. This is where all the activities lies, all the tasks, and all the phases of that project. This was generated automatically by AI, and this can be adjusted however you want it. You can add other phases, you can adjust the timeline, you can select a person in the activity. This is how simply you can add a staff member to a particular tax. So when you want to adjust the time frame of a particular phase, you can simply drag that phase you adjust the phase, you adjust the time frame of that particular tax, and you can also add a staff member to a particular tax. You can add one member, you can add multiple to a particular tax. And the beauty of this, everything goes to either their email, if you wish, or to the tax board. And you can also assign and remove a person from a tax by just clicking, by editing the tax, by changing whatever it is in the tax. So one of the beauty of this is you can also be able to track each and every of this tax, and you can add a reviewer of the tax. So we jump right into the tax board just to show you what the tax board is. So each staff sees his tax here, and they move their tax from one stage to another. As a manager, you'll be able to see everyone's tax and what they are doing. And when a tax requires review, the staff member cannot move this tax to completion because he can only move it to await a review, and the manager moves this tax to completed once the manager reviews the tax and the tax is perfectly fine. Okay, so finally, we keep showing you from different point of views of different roles and responsibilities. I think right now, what we'll do is we move straight to the last model as our time is coming to an end. So this is the AI coworkers. We created a system where AI helps you do your work. Coworkers is where your team and the AI works side by side. You simply ask AI in a plain language, just like any other AI tools. And the answer comes back to you live from your data. Just some basic example. Who clocked in today? The AI gives you the answer. As a manager, who is in office today? Who is on leave? Who has a deadline today? And so on and so forth. This is a virtual representation of your office. Whoever clocks into the office is being seen on this platform. It's a digital twin of your office. This is a representation of agentic AI that is difficult for everyone to understand, especially if you are not in the technology field. But we try as much as possible to simplify what are digital twin and what are agentic AI. This is the future of where AI is moving to. Agents working for people, agent helping your staff to do their work, and so much more. For an NGO with a team like yours, that is like adding competencies to the already existing competencies you have on board. This simplifies your work. This helps you do a lot of things. And the fact that this lives inside your system and has access to your own data, it gives you feedback based on what you do and how you do it. So let's come back to where we started. Enough of the demo. You have seen the platform and how each day is being done and how you can be able to manage all your activities in a single click. And the director who couldn't get answers can simply get it from this platform. Shows you the HR, your finances, your projects, and much more than that. What this means for NGOs is lower overhead, one platform instead of dozens of subscriptions, win more funding, transparency, faster reporting, accountability, capacity, one source of truth, security, and room for growth. At Raza Technology, this is our commitment. For over decades, we have helped organizations transform through technology, and we built NGOffice 360 from the real frustration we had. Many of them from team exactly like yours. We know that for an NGO, software isn't the mission, but the right software gives you more time, more trust, and more opportunities in your funding for missions. So here is our invitation. If this software feels like it's describing how your organization should be, let's get started. You can also book demo with us for us to take you through. We do sessions for organizations, and you can simply go ahead and register. We have recorded videos that you can use for understanding of how each of the model works and how all these features work and how they are integrated. I will share a link that you can use. It's a referral link you can use to register on NGOffice 360. You can also reach out to us. Our phone number is there. Our contact is there. And let's start the journey together. You will have a free trial. Try it and see if this really works for your organization, and we can help you do that. So thank you very much. I would like to open window for any question, if anybody have any questions, so we can take a few questions for a few minutes. So please simply raise your hand and we will give you permission. Yes, Samuel, you can go ahead and unmute.
Okay, good afternoon, Malam Bello. It's quite educative and a great idea that organization should be able to adopt this to be able to move forward in terms of the operations, finances, and general program work. So my question is, if one subscribes to this, what will the payment look like? Is it monthly subscription? Is it annual subscription? And does it take cognizance of the number of staffs in an organization that will say, okay, if it's few staffs or most staffs, the cost will be higher or lesser? So let's just know, even when we've not gotten to that level yet, let's have an idea of what the cost implication will look like. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very important question, and I was waiting for this question. Subscription. We spoke heavily about how organization can reduce cost. This software is built in Nigeria, and unlike other softwares that are built in abroad, which we have a huge financial gap between. They sell their systems in dollars, and $100,000 per month means a lot for organizations. So that's why most organizations cannot afford to use software. And even if softwares are being used, I have seen so many organizations using cracked softwares to do their work just because they cannot afford paying that in dollar. So we have models, and each model costs 58,000 naira, each of the model. And this 58 is annually. So let's say as an average organization, maybe you might be using 3 to 4 models. So that's about 200,000 naira per year, which I suppose is very affordable for almost every organization, even if you have 2 staff. And this is the same cost for an organization with 100 staff. So we try as much as possible to see how we build something that our own people can benefit from. So you can simply pay for a single model. You want to use just HR, you pay for just HR. Maybe you don't need HR, you just need to manage your finances. You just pay for the finance model, or you pay for the project management model. We have the tax management, which is a free model. We have the core workers, which you have some basic free token that you can be working with. So we have some things that are also free in the system, but most of the heavy components is just 58,000 naira annually. We are integrating other models like the CRM, the file management system. We are also integrating customer service model and other models that will help organization run better. But these are the ones that we have recently published. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much. But still to add, does it take cognizance of the capacity for organization that has so much information? Does it take cognizance of the capacity in terms of, okay, the bigger, or it doesn't matter irrespective of the volume of data or information that is put out there, it will still manage still at that same cost? And also talking about the aspect of the security, what's the security like in terms of attacks or hackers? Thank you.
Yes. So to answer the first question, so in terms of staff capacity, we don't have a limit. You can add as many. Instead, in terms of data capacity, we have a limit of about 5 GB, which we have not even implemented because most organizations uploading documents it's not videos and other heavy movies that have been uploaded into the software. So before you even reach that capacity, it will be a very, very long time. It's files, and most files, you know, they are in kilobyte, in small megabytes, and so on. So there will be in the future a payment for storage capacity since we are integrating file and documents management. So if you have heavy documents with a lot of pictures and so on coming in, that will come at a price. But for now, I don't think any organization for the next 2 years will create will be suited to the system. Yes, for the security, all files have end-to-end encryption. So this includes your financial data and all. And we are using a secure server. We are using Amazon hosting for our server. So all your data is there. We did not use local server, although we have had so many requests of so many organizations and people saying, why are we not using local server? And let's be sincere with ourselves. If you check everything everywhere, your WhatsApp, your email, your Outlook, your all your data, your phone, is not going to Nigerian server. And most of the time, there haven't been breach of that privacy that we are afraid of, even though it's going to another country. That's number one. And number two, we are more at risk in our own establishment than in the establishment. We can see most things that are being hosted in the Nigeria server. Before you know it, you have hacking, you have leakage of data. So we try as much as possible to avoid that. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, yes, it does. Thank you very much.
So, Adama, please. Adama, you have your hands up. You are unmuted. Okay, maybe Adama is no longer here, so maybe we can move to Joseph. Joseph, are you online? Joseph, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. First of all, I want to commend you for, especially coming from indigenous, maybe tech. Um, Most of us here are representing our organization, so it will be good if you do a follow up via our email with full details on how to, even though we had the presentation, but especially on how to partner in terms of subscribing, maybe from the trial version and to the actual software package. And secondly, one thing that made us usually patronize maybe outside, maybe foreigners in terms of their services when it comes to software is because of the server issue, how it's being steady with the security and everything. When I say steady, I mean there won't be time where you see maybe server crash or because of electricity issue, all stuff like that. That's what made most of us to patronize the foreign tech firms. So I don't know if you have mechanism that will address that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for commending us. And that is one of the reasons, to be sincere with you, we are here. Indigenous innovations, indigenous NGOs. As mentioned earlier, I have worked in the humanitarian space for 8 years, working with UN OCHA, and I have understand the frustrations for most of indigenous organizations. And this is just one of the many problems we here are trying to address. So in terms of server and latency, we try as much as possible for this to be a global standard. And that is one of the reasons we have not found a match for international server. We have not found a match here in Nigeria. I'm not saying they don't exist. At the moment, we are in communication with service providers because we also like patronizing ours. So with some server warehouses in Kano, in Lagos, and we are trying to see, can they keep the standard? Do they have the security? What of downtime? Will our application be up 24 hours, 365 days in a year? So that is also what we consider. And we also consider fallback and backup in case of server crash and downtime, which these international providers, they have been doing this for decades and decades of years, and they have understand how systems work. So you don't have much issues with them. That is why we are hosting there. But nevertheless, we also want to promote ours so we can have some of our backups here in Nigeria, but we just want to make sure your data is secure. That's the most important thing.
Thank you so much.
Who's next?
Yes, so I think we have
Hello, good afternoon. This is Adama Veronica.
good afternoon.
Sorry, I was having problem with my network. Thank you for the session. I just have a few questions to ask. How do we manage petty cash and reconciliation under the finance model? Hello?
Yellow? Yes. So thank you so much. For me, I have not thought of this use case using a system, but you can manage money being given to someone in an account by putting the request, and you can reconcile that on what the person actually spent and what was given. So it depends on your organizational workflow. And I'll give you a basic example. For us in our organization, when we have a weekly petty cash of, let's say, a 50,000 naira that is going to be given to the admin. So it's been recorded as this money is with the admin as petty cash. So the admin requested and it's been disbursed to the admin. So it's recorded on the system. But once the money is not being used, you also kind of give another money next week that is not up to that. So it's kind of calculate what you are giving out, but the money is not being returned into the system since it's always going out and being spent for one thing or the other. But if there is a different way your organization works on this, we will be happy to have a conversation and we see how we can integrate that different way into our own system.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I can see Mr. Sani's hands up. So please just we have a form. If you have other message and if you would like us to contact you, especially you, Veronica. So I would like to have this conversation with you just to understand how your process works. So we see if we can also check with other organizations and bring out the best in this future, because we are still trying to see how we give a perfect solution to everybody, not just restricted to how one person works. Over to you, Mr. De La Fia. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Bello.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the presentation. I'm really impressed with what I had. So, just a quick one. Do you have an office in Maiduguri so that maybe we can meet, have a bilateral meeting to see how you can support us being the young organization that are just coming up on board? Thank you. And over.
Thank you so much. We currently don't have an office in Maiduguri, but we have one of our partner in Maiduguri that we are trying to conclude our partnership by end of next week. So they will be taking over all the support that are needed for organizations. We can share the contact with you, and they can help you with anything that we can help you with.
All right, thank you very much. This is Sir, not Maza. Thank you very much. I will be glad to see the contact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Apologies. I thought I said sir. Maybe my brain is a bit freezing. So we have Ismaila. We have Ismaila. We will be taking 2 more questions because we have already run out of time.
Good afternoon, Olaju Bello. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And as mentioned earlier, this is a wonderful work, having an indigenous platform app like this that will help enhance the work of indigenous organizations, more especially for local CSOs that may not afford the higher version. This will help the CSOs to start with. And maybe as things continue to unfold, more integrated version will come up, and the organization will be able to subscribe for more. And the question I want to ask is around For example, if we are using QuickBooks in our own organization, there are some tasks that this particular NGO360 will take care of. For example, in QuickBooks, I can create a project. I can have I can post transactions in the QuickBooks. I can do reconciliation and other things. So can this particular one take care of that kind of task that we can do in QuickBooks, or it all depends on your interaction with the organization? Thank you, and over.
Thank you so much. So for our own system, I believe you can do anything in it that you can do with QuickBook, just in a bit different way and in a bit simplified manner, because we consider mostly how we do our things here in Nigeria and integrate it. So for a project, it has its financials. And also, when you go to the finance model, something we didn't show is the accounting component, where all the reconciliation, where the book balance and other accounting terminologies that I myself is not that familiar with, right? So we realize most organizations, they don't have a dedicated accountant. So rather, someone with a bit of financial experience handles the finances. But if you have an accountant in your organization, in the finance models, you can check all the category mapping, the journals entry, the trial balance, income statement, balance sheet. So everything is there. And these things in the project management, everything will be tagged to a particular project. So each project will have its own expenses and its own reconciliation and whatever that it needs financially. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
So let's take the last one, Mr. John.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, my name is John Usman, the Executive Director of Jambali Humanitarian Society, here based in Maiduguri. Sorry, I actually joined earlier, but then I could not put the voice because I was in another function. I just switched on the voice and I missed out some parts. Especially, I need a quick clarity in the subscription methods, because I know there are other service provider, especially in terms of the customized email that like that of TechSub, that are providing free service, although initially later they resolved to charging some stipend because of short of funding. But then I don't know the modality of your own function. I just need clarity in that aspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I earlier showed some of the models. So we currently have 5 models that you can subscribe to. We have other models that we have not yet integrated because they are still in testing phase and we want to make sure they are doing well before we bring them on board. So you can subscribe per model, and For instance, if you are very comfortable with using QuickBook for your finances and you don't want to bring back your finances to NGOffice 360, you can keep using QuickBook, but you can also subscribe for the project management and the HR model for your project and HR. You can also manage your, let's say, tax in this system. And the whole essence of this is, instead of you having a different tool for HR, a different tool for finance, a different tool for this and that they don't communicate with each other. A basic example is in the HR model, when you add your staff, those same staff can request something in the finance model. Those same staff, when you create their payroll in the HR model, it sends it automatically to the finance, and the finance says that, okay, this is our payroll for this month, and they go ahead and approve it and make the payment. So we try to simplify this connectivities between tools. But if you feel, okay, I don't need a particular model, then you just go ahead and pay for that model that you want to subscribe for at the cost of 58,000 Naira per year. So I don't know if this answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much. It's now clear. I hope the meeting is being recorded so that you can share with us that join late and we'll be able to watch later.
Yes, it's been recorded, and we'll share it by the end of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we'll say thank you very much to everybody that joins. We have overstayed our welcome. So it's already 1 hour, 30 minutes into this meeting that was supposed to last at least an hour plus. So thank you very much for joining. And I have shared a link that you can register your organization. If you still have more questions, there is also a link in this chat. You can send us questions and we'll get back to you. And if you would like to contact us or give us a call on the website, you can also simply do that. You can also book maybe a demo for onboarding, and we will schedule you in some of our demos to take you through how you register your organization and how you onboard your staff using the system. Thank you, everybody. Do have a nice day, and thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you, everyone.